A letter to my future self. Today I received a letter in the mail. The return address was from the elementary school in the area, and it was addressed to me. I sat down at my kitchen table and opened the envelope. There was another letter inside with another sealed envelope. I took both of them out, glanced at the sealed envelope, and saw that it had my name written on it. The penmanship was my own, but the letter seemed to be written clumsily. I unfolded the piece of paper that had been in the envelope and saw that it was a letter from my former elementary school teacher. It was strange, but in that moment I couldn't think of what the teacher looked like, and the name didn't sound familiar. My childhood always seemed a little blurry. I can never remember any outstanding events from my formative years, but I always thought most people don't remember those years. I read over the letter from my elementary school teacher, and it said that the envelope was a writing assignment from the 4th grade. Everyone had to write a letter to their future selves, and the teacher would mail it after 10 years had passed. I picked up the sealed envelope and tore it open, excited to find out what I had said to myself. Dear future me. Hi. How are you? I'm doing okay here. School is so boring. I cannot wait to go home and watch Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman on TV. Spider-Man is the best. I hate when Sailor Moon comes on. Stupid girl show. But that's okay, because we go outside and play until Superman comes on. I hope you are happy and remember to keep the secret from Mommy, or she will be really, really, really mad. She was so mad when she found the Batman treasure. Daddy was really mad too. Thank God I put them in different places. I don't want to go to the camp place, but Mommy and Daddy say it's only for the summer vacation. I think they're lying. I heard them at night talking about moving away because of the treasures. In case we move, I drew you a map of the backyard so you can be like Batman and find the treasure. I love you. You. P.S. Don't beat anyone up anymore. I turned over the letter and there was a map drawn on the back. It was a crude child's drawing, yet it had enough details and explanation to where I could decipher the locations. It seemed strange to me that I didn't remember ever digging in the backyard or having treasures as a child. The coolest thing I owned as a kid was a hollow foil Charizard Pokemon card. I grabbed a shovel from the tool shed and followed the directions on the map. The first was buried right behind the tool shed. After digging around a little, I found a Spider-Man lunchbox. It held up surprisingly well despite being underground for several years. I wiped off the dirt and opened it up. My heart dropped when I saw the small potato-shaped skull and bones inside. I didn't remember ever having a pet when I was younger. I'm going to have to ask my mother and father about this. I closed it up and put the lunchbox on the patio table and moved on to the next location on the treasure map. The next location was in the farthest corner of the house by the tall wooden fence that separates the neighbor's yard from ours. I uncovered another lunchbox, this time with Superman on the cover. And again I found the remains of another animal. This time the skull was small and flat with 4 large, sharp-looking teeth. I was beginning to get scared. I tried to chalk it up to childhood morbid curiosity, but I couldn't quite understand how all these pets ended up in these lunchboxes I assumed belonged to me. The map had one more location on it, and it was marked off as the biggest, bestest treasure ever. Following the map to the last location, I ended up underneath the big trampoline my parents had never bothered to dispose of. The shovel was too large to use there, so I started to dig with my hands. I was pulling up chunks of dirt and grass by the handful until I reached the treasure. The first object I pulled from the dirt was a dog tag with the information for Becky, who had belonged to the Ramseys 2 houses away from mine. Right next to the dog tag was another tag for a pet named Jellybean, also from around my neighborhood. My hands and fingers were hurting by the time I reached another lunchbox. I wiped off the dirt from it, and it was a Sailor Moon lunchbox. An overwhelming feeling of apprehension came over me, but I'd already come too far to stop. I opened it up and I found a bunch of Sailor Moon school supplies. I was beyond relieved. It was only school supplies. I put the lunchbox to the side and decided I was done chasing around the crap my 10-year-old self wanted me to have. I was about to start placing the dirt back into the hole when I lost my balance. I reached out into the hole to break my fall and I found another object. In my rush to open the lunchbox, I hadn't noticed the small human skull that was now in my hand. I let out half a yell, a moan, and backed away from it as if it was going to kill me. Panicking, I crawled backwards out from underneath the trampoline when I suddenly hit something hard with my back. I fell on my back and saw my father standing over me and looking down at me. I looked over at the patio table and saw my mother looking at the lunchboxes. My dad reached out and helped me up from the ground. I pointed towards the hole as tears welled up in my eyes. My dad held his hand up to stop me from speaking and said, "We need to have a talk."